Welcome back to my channel. I'm JC. Today's video, I'm finally getting around to doing my 5-year Q&A that, why did I have it labeled like that? But anyway, I'm finally getting around to doing my 5-year Q&A that back in May was my 5th year anniversary on YouTube, on AuthorTubes. And I had posted a community post asking for any questions that anyone wanted to ask me. And I've been collecting the questions, and there aren't too many of them. Some of them, there are multiple questions for one person. But I've been collecting the questions, and I just haven't gotten around to filming a separate video. And since I am on a month-long hiatus from doing my vlogs, I thought now was as good a time as any. As you can see, I am out and I am at the laundromat as per my usual car chat that I would normally do in a vlog. I'm just gonna do this instead. Am I already rusty at being on camera? It feels like I am. Anyway, so wow, I've been here 5 years on YouTube. I can't believe it's been 5 years. I can't believe I was so scared to do this either. But anyway, the first question I have is from my Maga Vidal, who, dear friend, love you. Haven't seen your videos in a while. She writes musical compositions, musicals basically. And she said, happy anniversary. What are your favorite writing tools you use every day? And I mean, that's a really simple question to answer because obviously my laptop, Microsoft Word is my favorite program to write on. And, you know, good old pen and paper. And I use a Pentel. Oh my gosh, do I have one with me? I think I might actually have one with me. A Pentel purple pen. I don't want to show that one because that one looks very, very ragged. It's a purple pen. It's Pentel. Okay, this one also has the thing came off. But this is my preferred pen of choice. I buy boxes of these whenever I get low. It's Pentel RSVP, and the purple one specifically, because for some reason, even though my favorite color is blue, turquoise to be specific, I like to write in purple ink. I don't know why. It's a thing. It's been a thing. It just works for me. The next question is from Karina the Griffin. What wishlist items would you like most when you get into your own space once more? I feel like the practical answer would be to say a bed and a comforter. But in all honesty, a desk. The desk setup I had before they got tossed out, it was a rather large desk. It was like a 55 to 60 inch desk, or not some inch. I might be getting the measurements wrong. I'm not good at measurements or math. But it was a rather large desk. And then I had the older desk that I had used that as like my L shape. So I would love an L-shaped desk. A desk with my second one. I think I still have my second monitor. It's being stored somewhere, but with someone. And the risers, just a whole new desk space setup would make my home office and give me that space to go to when I want to write and do things that are content creation related or, you know, writing related, and not, no. And I can just be alone in that space to write things and whatever. That's the real answer. Of course, it's probably more practical for me to say a bed and a comforter. A bed, that's my own, and a comforter. And sheets, obviously sheets, because sheets to go in the bed. The next, it's I think it's 2 questions in one. From Nicole Binkley, or otherwise known as Hazelnut Ramblings here on YouTube. What moment or moments are you most proud of And who are you glad to have met during your journey on YouTube? You can list as many as you want. I think the moment, I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Nicole, by the moment I'm most proud of. You mean in life in general, or since I've been in AuthorTube? Um, Other than actually taking the step and the leap to actually create this channel, when I was terrified of being on camera, terrified of how I would be perceived. I'm not, the typical skinny, um, I don't have like model looks or anything. I'm not ugly. I'm not saying that I know that I'm beautiful. I don't look like a model. I'm not like gorgeous or anything. And I'm not skinny. I'm not the typical person that would get attention on the internet space. And, as being someone who's always been teased for being overweight or bullied for being overweight, I just didn't want to be internet bullied for being overweight. And, you can control things to an extent on the internet. But I feel like when you put your image out there, you can't really control what people say. And not that I'm getting a lot better at not caring about what people think of me, but I don't know that I'll ever all the way be there. To an extent, I think I'm always going to care what someone thinks about me, which is not necessarily a good thing, but but also a secondary to just starting the channel in general, streaming. When I started streaming, which thank you, Barrett, for making me take that step and kind of dragging me across that line to taking that step to actually streaming, because I don't know that I would have done it without Barrett's insistence, help, nudge, that he gave me, and actually got on screen with me to help ease the nerves and calm the nerves of being on stream. I don't find myself to be the most interesting person watching live. Like, I go to a lot of live streams, and I have my favorite people that I like to watch their streams, and I just I always find them so interesting and entertaining, and I just never saw myself as being that person to be where other people would see me as entertaining and interesting. So streaming was always terrifying to me. But I'm really proud of myself for taking that leap. I probably need to take another step further leap and get a lot more comfortable at streaming by myself, because you can't always count on someone being able to be there with you. People have lives. So you can't always count on that. That's not a guarantee. And I get real nervous when I'm by myself, and it shows. And I don't like streaming by myself, but I need to take that step to get more comfortable with it, because, that's life. People have things to do, and people can't always, be on another person's stream. And some people like streaming by themselves, so they don't want to be on someone else's stream all the time. And, that's perfectly, understandable. In a second, you're going to hear my alarm go off, because my clothes are finished washing. So, and the second part of her question is, who are you glad to have met during your journey on YouTube? And I think I'm glad to have met my close circle of writer friends here on YouTube. But if I want to get more specific, I would say Nia and Tiffany and Eva and Esther, Gwenna, Laura, Barrett, Morgan. Those would be my most favorite people. And Kate Kavanaugh and Becca C. Smith. And having met them has been a real treat. And having their encouragement and their go away. Having their encouragement and sometimes their willingness to participate in certain challenges with me has been like, I can't even say how impactful that has been for me. But yeah, Yeah, those are my people. Um, Next question is from S. Swinton. Well, Swinton Wolf. Not entirely sure I said that correctly, but how do you do your filming and editing process? Ooh, actually, I think that might actually need a whole entire separate video because I've never thought about how to break it down to explain it to anyone. It's really quirky and weird because my laptop isn't. I don't have a high-tech laptop. It's not the best. I don't have high-tech editing software. It's also not the best. It's the software that came with the laptop. It sometimes doesn't do me well. So I think I might have to actually do that one in a separate video. But in terms of like, I film the vlogs during the week and then I edit and do the B-roll and things on Friday and Saturday. And yeah, that's gonna take a whole separate video. The next question is from Angela Spears. She says, happy YouTube anniversary, and what is your ideal workspace setup? Okay. L-shaped desk. I think I might have touched on this in the first answer. L-shaped, or the second question. I don't know. No, second question about for my wish list. L-shaped desk with like a file cabinet setup situation to store all the paper things, with a bookshelves surrounding me. Oh my gosh, my ideal setup would be like my an entire room to be my office, so I could have it kind of be office / library. I have bookshelves lining the walls. Oh, but it does say ideal workspace, so maybe I should just keep it to the desk area. Dual monitor setup with the laptop on the riser situation, and with a desk mat and a wrist pad and the external keyboard, and just honestly, I would say the setup I had before I got evicted was perfect for me, and I missed that setup, and I missed that so much. Hopefully I explained that well. I'm not sure, but yeah. And the last set of questions, because there are multiple, is from Sky SD Haggis, who says, happy anniversary. How has your writing process changed over the years since you joined AuthorTube? Who on AuthorTube has most influenced you and your videos? If you could give one piece of advice to new AuthorTubers, what would it be? Ooh, that's quite a question. Hold up, I'm going to come back and ask that one. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Had to go put the clothes in the dryer, and then it was just too cold to come back out here. So, now the clothes are done, and I'm getting ready to leave. I thought I would come back to answer these last few questions. I had to actually think about it. So, Sky's questions, to repeat again. How has your writing process, we'll take them one at a time. How has your writing process changed over the years since you joined AuthorTube? That one's a little simpler to answer because when I found AuthorTube, or when I came upon AuthorTube, I was coming out of a very, 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 very deep depression. I was not writing. I was thinking about writing, dreaming about writing, wishing I could write, but it just wasn't happening. I would say that I wasn't motivated, but that's not true. I wanted to write. I just really just couldn't get in a good mental headspace to do so. Hold on. Okay. So I didn't really have a writing process. And previous to that bout of depression that I had, I think I just wrote at night mainly. I never even, not that I didn't attempt to write during the day, but I just wasn't a daytime person. My mind always actively came to life at night, so that's when I wrote. But I didn't have a process, like I didn't have a set amount of hours, that set amount of words. I just wrote, and before I had a kid, I just wrote any time, all the time, except for when I was in bouts of depression. And when I came upon AuthorTube, I was in a very, very big bout of depression, and writing was just not happening. And I think I found Marissa Mohi's channel first, and then I came across Sarah Cannon, and then Kate Kavanaugh. And between the three of those channels, the three of them kind of pulled me out of, well, helped me to pull myself out of that deep dark depression, which is probably why Sarah Cannon and Marissa Mohi doesn't really make videos anymore, but it's probably why Kate Kavanaugh and Sarah Cannon, their channels have always meant so much to me, and just being a part of their chats and their streams and things have always meant a lot to me, because those two channels really helped me in a really dark time. And it's where I first interacted with Eva. I don't think it was Sarah Cannon. I think it was Marissa Mohi. It might have been Marissa Mohi's channel. And every now and then I would see Eva on Kate's. And then I interacted with Eva in other spaces. I don't know that I've ever interacted with Eva on Sarah Cannon's channel, but I think Marissa Mohi was where I first came across Eva. She probably was the first one that I really noticed in the chats, in the chat space. So yeah, there's that. But the second question was, who on AuthorTube has most influenced you and your videos? Kate Kavanaugh. I want to say Sarah Cannon has influenced me in terms of motivation, and in terms of it just seems like Sarah Cannon always makes these. I mean, Sarah Cannon makes great videos, period, but every now and then she'll make these I don't want to call them mental health check-in videos or anything like that, but she'll make these videos, these sit-down videos where she talks about a certain headspace she's in, and her, getting herself out of that, and tips and things to help other writers. And it almost always seems like she's talking to me, and like she just knows that apparently she just tapped into my brain, and we're going through the same thing at the same time. I don't know how. So Kate, Sarah, Becca C. Smith has had a really big influence for me. I don't know if she realizes that, but who else? Let's see. Morgan too. I think Morgan's one of those videos that I came across, and I always talk about the first video that I met Morgan Lee on. She was doing, I don't remember the title of the video, but she was doing 4 projects, and it was I know that it was a nano video, I believe it was. She was doing 4 projects at once. At first I was like, girl, that's a lot. Whew. And I just remember admiring so much, first, her bravery in trying to tackle that many projects at the same time in the same span of a video, and second, I know she always thinks that video is too rambly, but it's the thing I love the most about it, because I feel like that video is what helped me to be okay with my rambliness in my videos. I was always like, oh no, I can't say that. That's saying too much. That's rambling too much. That's talking too much. Or I would go through and edit my videos, and I was like, let me edit this out. I got a little too rambly, and I can't be rambly or whatever. And I think that video is it let me know that it's okay to be rambly. I'm a rambly person. And if you like me, I guess you're just going to have to like my rambles. And Morgan was just so authentically herself in that video. And I love her so much. I love her in general, but just that video alone, because Morgan and I are friends, so I love her in general. But that video, she just let herself be herself, and it was beautiful. If I find the video, if I can remember what the title of the video is, I can go and link it. I will link it for you. But I love that video. I always talk about how much I love that video. And Esther, I think Esther's videos, I would say Nia, but Nia doesn't really make videos. But Esther and Nia kind of helped me tap into that multiple project side, in which I didn't think I could do multiple projects at the same time. And Esther kind of influenced me and helped me see that I did have multiple project girl energy in me. And yes, and now I can't go back to single project girly. Multiple project girly, I am, and that's just me now. And the last part of the last question is, if you could give one piece of advice to new AuthorTubers, what would it be? Be yourself. I know it sounds really simple and really cheesy and just like, that's it. But yeah, I don't, how do I say this? I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound like, I'm not judging. I know that people script videos. I don't script my videos. I just be up. And it's nothing wrong with scripting videos. It's just not, if I script it out, I probably won't end up doing it. Now, are there some videos where I have to do a little bit of research for and like make a bullet point of, or list out things, and then I'll read from that list, but I don't necessarily consider that scripted. I'm not scripting how I'm going to present this information. I'm going to talk as normal, and then when I get to the part where I read the list, I'm just going to read the list. And I don't have anything against scripted videos, so that's not me. I'm not judging. I just don't script videos, but that's me. That is me being authentic to myself. I am not a person that scripts videos. That's not authentic. It's not authentically me. If you are a person who scripts videos, then that's authentic to you and who you are, and you should do that. So that's when I say be you, be who you are, be authentic to yourself. If you're rambly, ramble. Don't be afraid to ramble in your videos. If you, if you just be yourself. Let us, or let the people who find your channel discover who you are, not some over-rehearsed, overly prepared version of yourself that you think people want to see. Because I think part of the videos that I love the most are the ones where I can tell that this person is, that's who they are. That is authentic to who they are. There is no preparation and planning in what I'm seeing here. That is them. And I like the aesthetic vlogs, and I like the aesthetic videos where there's clearly preparation involved, but those aren't the ones I gravitate to the most. I like the ones where the person is just being themselves and unapologetically themselves. And I hope that people, when they watch my videos, that's what they like about me, because there is no over preparation here. There's no over planning in my videos. I wish I had it in me to do an aesthetic vlog. I don't. It's not who I am. And while I like those videos, it's not me. And I am learning, possibly way too late in life, that it is okay to just be me and be okay with that. And whoever likes it, and whoever doesn't. And I can't do anything about that. I can't tell other people how to feel about me. They're gonna either like me or not, and it is what it is. But that is all the questions I have for my Q&A for my 5-year video. And that's all the questions that I was given. You can always leave me more, and I'll do a Q&A video in the future maybe. But hopefully you learned a little bit more about me today and the answer to some of these questions, or about my journey. Oh, and another piece of advice: if you are thinking about creating a channel and you are pondering on it and you've spent years or a year thinking about it and you're still waiting and you're still wondering if it's the right thing to do, just do it. If it's not right for you, you'll figure that out. If it's something that's not your vibe or your jam, after a few videos you'll learn that, and then you can stop. But you won't know if you don't try. I would have never known that I actually like making videos had I just jumped out there and did it. I would have never known that I love editing videos had I not just jumped out there and did it. So I'm very happy that I did. And if you're thinking about it, join us in the AuthorTube space. We're very welcoming here. And we're very eager to help others. Or at least that's the side of AuthorTube I've seen. That's going to be it for this video. And if you like what you see and you want to see more videos from me, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. I try to post videos every Monday. I live stream on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As per usual, if you would like to be supportive of me in any of my creative endeavors, such as my blog, my online magazine, my online store with writer merch, becoming a member of my Patreon, tipping me on my Ko-fi, buying my books on Amazon, or reading them in Kindle Unlimited, all of those links can be found in the description box below. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and have a blessed day. Bye.